And I didn't really get it right away, but he kept talking, and he said, yesterday was a really bad day, and I went to go get my gun, but I grabbed my yoga mat instead. My name is Dan Nevins. I was the Staff Sergeant in the United States Army. I was deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom 2, so to Iraq, a place called Balad, Iraq. I got into country in March of 2004, and then I was blown up November 10th of 2004, 9 months later. My head was bowed in prayer like it was before every mission, and I remember being in that prayer, and then boom! The deafening blast that sent my 18,000-pound vehicle about 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. And I could feel and hear the truck basically disintegrate around my body, and I knew that I was going to die. I started to make my peace with God. I was saying goodbye to my wife and my daughter, and the first thing I saw when I opened my eyes was this combat nurse's face right in mine. And she said, "Sergeant Nevins, you're a very lucky man. We had to take your left leg below the knee. We managed to save your right one for now, but you'll probably lose that one too." But what was left of my legs, the muscles changed and just changed the complete shape of my body. And then I got prosthetics. And then they were cool, because then with prosthetic legs, I can go on the golf course and beat people that had their legs. I could go snowboarding, like shred past somebody that had legs. So it was like replacing ego, it was like all kind of like right back where it started. Late in 2013, I had to have a surgery on what was left of my right leg. And as a result of that surgery, I couldn't wear my right prosthetic anymore. And I couldn't do the things that I used to do to cope. And I couldn't even take care of my 3-year-old daughter. And these thoughts kept coming up. And then they wouldn't go away. And then they were keeping me up at night. And then they were waking me up from nightmares. And I wasn't suicidal, but I knew that if things continued this way, that I probably would be. So I called a friend for help. And I remember telling her what was going on, and then she said, "Dan, you need some yoga in your life." And I was like, no, I'm a dude. I eat meat, I shoot things, right? I don't own spandex. Like, I was a hard no. And she suggested meditation, and I was a yes for that. And it started to work. I got to the point where I could wear my right leg again, and I called her to say thanks. I was like, "Anna, thank you so much. Like, this actually really worked for me." And she said, "Oh, it did, huh? I think you owe me some yoga now." So, like, here I am trying yoga. I'm in a yoga studio, and I suck at it. I can't feel my feet. Like, this is ridiculous. And then I got so frustrated halfway through, I said, "Can I just try this with my legs off?" My legs are off. I kind of threw them across the room. I was just pissed. And then I was remembering, kind of repeating to myself what she said. She said, "Root down to rise up." So I just imagined like my feet were finally, like my legs were finally connected to the ground, and I imagined like really rooting down, like growing roots into the earth, and then to like lift up. And when I did that, when I took a moment to consciously connect to the earth sent this jolt of energy into my body, like for real. Like, it wasn't like some hit, like it kind of like, it shocked me from the inside out. My arms flew up and tears were flying out of my face, and I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And what I realized was that I had just been floating above the earth for the last decade, like not connected. And that kept me from connection everywhere in my life. My marriage had failed. I wasn't the best father I could be. I wasn't the best boss I could be. I wasn't the best employee I could be. And that moment changed something foundationally in me. And then I had to learn more. And I had to learn how to adapt all the poses and all the transitions. And by the end of my 3rd class, I was enrolled in teacher training. But then when I saw my buddies in real life, there was just always the ribbon, like, Dan, what's up with the yoga? Like, it's always some sort of joke about yoga. But that's what, like, warriors, like that culture, it's how we love each other, right? It's by making fun of each other. So I didn't ever take it personally. This golf event, there was one dude, and he looked at me and he said, like, hey, man, like, you look actually, like, lighter. Like, something's better, man. He goes, you look good. He said, is that yoga? I'm like, yeah, it actually is. It's yoga. It's changed my life. And he said, yeah, I want to learn some more about that. And I said, okay, after golf, let's go grab a beer at my house. So we get to my house, and then I look up, and I see his face. And it's that, like, I know something's wrong. So I said, hey, man, is everything okay? And he said, actually, it's not okay. 2 days ago, my wife found me in my closet with a gun in my mouth. I was a second away from pulling the trigger when she opened the door, and my little girl was there. It's like, I don't know what to do. And the only thing I could get out of my mouth was, man, you need some yoga in your life. And then shockingly, he said, like, well, show me, teach me. We got through that first practice together. I wound up teaching my first yoga class to one dude in my living room. And then I got him set up with a studio near him, paid for his first month of unlimited yoga. I said, just go here. And said he was going, and then 3 weeks later, I got a phone call, and it was him, and I said, hey, what's up? He's like, man, I just wanted to call to say thank you. And I didn't really get it right away, but he kept talking, and he said, yesterday was a really bad day, and I went to go get my gun. But I grabbed my yoga mat instead. So we talked, we kind of like finished telling a couple stories and like about yoga and other things, and then I hung up the phone. I was right in front of my computer, and I signed up for level 2 teacher training. And I said, I'm gonna teach yoga because it's something I can do. And if it can work for him, it can work for all warriors. Whether male, female, it doesn't matter.
I've been pushing away the people knocking on my door.
Rise up, reach up, mountain pose. Now forward, forward fold.
And I'm reluctant to come outside. They'll bombard me with the coincidental lies. The days seem different now than when I was just a kid. Overworked and now.
My name is Matthew Daniel. I served as an 18 Bravo Special Forces Weapons Sergeant in the United States Army.
My name is Dan Pritchard. I am a Sergeant First Class in Special Operations Forces.
My name is Joshua Mattis, and I was a 18 Fox, which is a Special Forces Intelligence Sergeant.
My first deployment to Afghanistan was in 2009. I went back again in 2010 and 2012 as well.
I have 9 deployments.
On my 7th deployment, mentally broke.
I was super fast to get, amped up real quick. It was kind of like 0 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour. They didn't have a lot of in between.
Ended with a suicide attempt. A couple of yoga sessions relieved more of my anxiety than the cocktail of meds that they were giving us.
And now I've kind of got that cruise control mode since, starting, a regular yoga practice.
I'm sleeping better. I feel better about everything.
Practicing yoga more intimately daily. In the meditation, I found the first inclination of peace.
It's night and day.
Just these feelings I've been having, and I just can't go along.
I feel more like a warrior teaching yoga or practicing yoga than I've ever felt on the battlefield.